Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. This is Mr. Shakespeare again. I'm joined today again by Liz Cross, psychic medium and remote viewer. How are we doing today, Liz?
Very well, thank you. This is a popular request. I know I've never probed Jamie Dimon before, and I don't know why it's a real popular request. Obviously, you've picked that up from the Discord. So I don't know what the questions are, but I'm intrigued.
Actually, Liz, to be honest, I didn't pick it up from the Discord. This is following on from some other ones that we did earlier. So I didn't actually know that it was on the Discord that people wanted it, but I'm not surprised that they do. So anyway, so we've come to the same path from different angles, but yeah, okay. Right, now, this guy, Jamie Dimon, as you can see, is the chairman of the board of chief executive officers of JP Morgan Chase & Co., one of the largest banks in the US. Have you got a connection with him?
Yes, he's just finished eating dinner. He eats early.
Okay. Right. Okay. How is JP Morgan Chase doing at the moment?
They're worried. Everything's down. When the economy's down, JP Morgan Chase is down.
Okay. What do they think of the Federal Reserve bank that's been increasing the rates recently and is due to do it again in September? What do they think of these rate rises?
Well, it had to happen. He doesn't believe the Federal Reserve, and his own opinion, thought, feeling, and opinion had a choice. It had to happen. And he's saying that's how the banks continue to make money, by increasing these interest rates. So it's sort of like a buffer for the banks. That's how he sees it.
Okay.
It makes sense, doesn't it?
It does. Would he agree with the phrase, you've almost got to break the economy to save the economy by these rates being raised?
Would you agree that you almost have to break the economy to save the economy? No, that's nonsense.
Oh, okay. All right. What does he think the effect of the raising of the rates will do domestically to the US then?
He believes it's going to stabilize the economy and it's going to stop it from bottoming out.
But people will have to pay more for their loans, their consumer debt, everything. If the rates keep rising, that means that people will have less money to spend.
Yeah, okay. Look, I know where this guy's coming from, okay? It's not the same place. It's not the same place that you or me are coming from.
Okay.
He doesn't care. You know what I mean? Because he's like, doesn't affect me. And that was his answer. All he cares about is saving the banks, having that buffer, making sure the banks are not going bankrupt and losing money, and keeping their pockets lined. This guy does not care about the little man.
Okay. Well, I'm glad. Well, I mean, he should care about JP Morgan Chase. He's the CEO, so I would expect that from him. What does he think the future holds for his bank?
For JP Morgan, it's unsteady. Obviously, this is just going to provide a buffer to make up for a lot of the losses that the banking industry is seeing right now. Don't forget, when people are not spending money, they're not making money, right? So the banks aren't making money. Every time there's a transaction, they're making money. When people are not out spending, that rate of income coming in from those transactions goes way, way down. So by raising the interest rates, it gives the bank a boost. And he believes that is the only benefit in raising the interest rates. It's to save big business.
Okay. What does he think of central bank digital currencies, CBDCs?
What do you think of central bank digital currency? Trash. Thumbs down, trash. He doesn't believe in it.
No. And I know why he doesn't believe in it, because central bank digital currencies mean that we don't need commercial banks like JP Morgan.
Oh, okay. So you believe that a central banking, let me ask him, would a central banking system digital currency get rid of you? Yes, it's a big threat to all of us. Yes, you are absolutely right, Mr. Shakespeare.
Right. So now you understand why Jamie Dimon and JP Morgan Chase will do anything to save JP Morgan Chase.
Right. Yes, yes, absolutely.
What does he think about the World Economic Forum?
What do you think about the World Economic Forum? He doesn't like them.
There you go. No,
he doesn't like them because they're trying to control us.
Right. Again, the World Economic Forum are in favor of central bank digital currencies. Central bank digital currencies mean you don't need the big commercial banks, of which he is one of the largest on the planet. So he will do everything he can to make sure that does not happen.
Let's ask him this question. Are you in talks with the U.S. federal government about your concerns of the central banking digital? All the time, all the time. I just felt that was coming.
Ask him if he's in. Yeah, I'm not so much worried about the U.S. government. Is he more in control? Is he more in control? Sorry, in talks with the Fed or Powell? The Fed is more likely. It's not the U.S. government. It's the Fed.
Okay, are you in talks with the Jerome Powell? Yes, they communicate frequently. They know each other personally.
There you go. You see, if there is a central bank digital currency issued, the U.S. Federal Reserve and JP Dimon and his bank do not need to be around. And that's the thing you have to understand, everybody. Okay, these guys will do whatever they can to protect their own existence. Okay.
Shall we ask how they are thinking to protect their own existence?
Absolutely.
Okay. So how do you intend to protect your own existence against a central digital currency? Well, here you go, friends. The answer we've all been waiting for. We're going to buy up the world. If we own the world, we control the currency system.
Oh, we've heard that recently, haven't we?
It makes sense, right? Well, we know that through our probes last week, and thank you very much, those were exceptionally popular, through BlackRock, and that was your idea. So thank you, Mr. Shakespeare. Round of applause. You've all done very well. Only the Brits will get that. Anyway, but their philosophy is, well, if we have this strong foothold on all of the residential and for JP Morgan commercial property, they are extremely influential over the Federal Reserve, right? So they feel in their own personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions that they would then be able to control the Federal Reserve. And now you're looking at this struggle of where these banks, just like you said, want to maintain their power and status, and how they're going to, in their own opinion, is by buying up everything. If they own everything, they own their intention is to own more than what the government owns. then they control the government.
Okay. Because the World Economic Forum are in favor of central bank digital currencies, and they don't want anybody to own anything. They want to own everything.
Why? Okay, so why? I don't understand that whole concept with the World Economic Forum. I really don't. I know people do talk about it, but I actually don't understand it.
Well, they want to destroy everything. They call it build back better, but which isn't really, it's crush everything, and then they will pick everything up and own everything and control everything. They want to control everything. They don't want Jamie Dimon and people like him owning it. They want themselves to own it, if you like.
So why then, why is the World Economic Forum even relevant? I don't understand why it's even relevant.
Well, we should do another video on that. Why? Because if you look at all the globalists, they have a globalist agenda. We've talked about this before.
Mhm.
They're not sovereigntists. They're globalists. They believe in, they don't believe in American borders or Canadian borders or Italian borders. They believe everything is just one, right? They believe in one government, one world, one this, one that, with them at the top. As usual with all of these things, it's all about power and control.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that the world works at the moment is, companies like JP Morgan Chase, who issue commercial paper out, let's say Apple or Samsung want to borrow 100 billion, they could go to JP Morgan Chase and maybe arrange a loan or something like that, and then JP Morgan Chase will earn interest on that loan. Okay. But if there was a central bank digital currency, there is no need for JP Morgan Chase. The whole point of all of this, the whole point of CBDCs is to get rid of the commercial banking sector and the central banks, like the Federal Reserve. So it's my contention that Jamie Dimon, JP Morgan Chase, and the Federal Reserve are actively working against the World Economic Forum. They're working against this one world, because like everybody, they want their own survival. JP Morgan Chase as an entity, as a bank, has been going for a long time. So is the Federal Reserve. They don't want to finish overnight. They don't want to go away, do they? So they're doing, I think these guys, I mean, you said he knows Powell, so I think these guys are working in together. This is why I think they're raising the interest rates.
Oh, let's ask. Did you influence Powell to raise the interest rates? No, he's saying he did it on his own accord. Okay. Does Powell like the World Economic? No, he says can't stand him, can't stand the World Economic Forum. Okay.
There you go.
Do you all frequently meet in order to preserve the American banking system and not have a digital world current? Frequently? Okay. They frequently meet. They have think tanks. They have polls. They have research projects. All of this expenditure to see how the public feels about a central digital currency, right? They're constantly researching to find out how close we are to possibly adopting this. And come hell or high water, then with all this research data, they find where the weaknesses or the weak points are within these, within the research or within the psychological, the psychological thought process of people. And then they capitalize on that loophole, right? On those weak points. Well, out of 100 people polled, the reason they don't like the idea of a central digital currency is because of X, Y, and Z. And they use that data in order to keep pushing that agenda.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. And so my words about this would be, whatever you think about the Federal Reserve, whatever you think about the main Wall Street clearing banks like JP Morgan Chase, probably Goldman Sachs as well, maybe, I don't know. I mean, definitely this guy. Although they don't care about the little people, their actions in defeating the World Economic Forum and their actions in defeating, or hopefully defeating, the central bank digital currency should be applauded by everything. Now, I'm not saying Jamie Dimon is a saint and the Federal Reserve is brilliant, but they're actually preserving the current way, which is, however much you might dislike it, is a lot better than a central bank issued digital currency, because it won't be an American central bank digital currency. It'll be, coming out of the World Economic Forum in Switzerland or somewhere, if they were ever to be able to do it. And so this is good information as far as I'm concerned.
Great, great. And just to add to that, as you were talking, the World Economic Forum would like to run the central banking system so that they can collect all the taxes on all of our transactions, and then they disperse it to where it needs to go. And you know as well as I do, not all of that money will ever be dispersed. So that's what we're up against.
Yeah. Okay. Can we move Jamie Dimon till the end of next year, please?
Ooh, okay. You know I don't like going out that far.
I know.
But as long as it's just an overview and you're not asking me the price of Bitcoin, we're good. Okay, so let's get now he likes to go to black tie events on New Year's.
Okay, well, let's have him the day before then.
Okay, so December 30th, 2023, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, what would you like to know?
Few questions. How's JP Morgan Chase done in 2023?
How has JP Morgan Chase done in 2023? It's low. It's low. He's telling me like it's struggling financially. I feel like they've had job losses. They've had cuts in the departments. They're really streamlining everything as much as possible in order that they're saving themselves.
Right. Okay. What has been the effect of the Fed interest rate policies this past year?
What is the federal interest rate policies this past year? Well, from a banking point of view, it's good for them. From a personal point of view, like the regular people, it's not been good. It's really, really difficult. The price has gone up of everything.
Right. Is the current Fed rate higher or lower than 3%?
Is the interest rate?
Yeah.
Okay. The current interest rate, is it higher or lower than 3%? Is it higher or lower? I feel like it may just sit slightly lower. Is it higher than 3% or lower? Oh, maybe 3.5.
Has it been even higher at any point during the year than 3.5?
Has it been any higher at any point? Yes, I feel like it's yes. What is the current? What is the current rate?
5%? Sorry?
I'm sorry, what is the current interest rate, the current Federal Reserve interest rate?
I think it's about 2.25, 2.5, but there's another meeting at the end of this month where it'll probably go to 3.
Okay. Is it above 2.5? Yes, certainly above 2.5. Did it go to 4? I feel like it may sit just below 4 or just below.
Did it go any time in 2023 below 2.25%?
Any time in 2023 below 2.25%. No, it went up.
Right. So there is your trend. There is the trend that the Fed rate is not going down. So all these people think they're going to taper off and they're going to do everything. They're not. They're going to keep on either keeping it the same or gently rising. So, you know, they are going to try and use. Okay. Does he know what effect all this interest rates the Fed has had on the ECB, European Central Bank?
Do you know what the effect is on the ECB, the European Central Bank, with all these? It's been good for the European Bank. It has.
Is that because they've raised their rates as well?
Ah, yes, yes.
Okay. How's JP Morgan share price doing? It's currently $115.
Up or down? Is it above or below 150? It's down. It's down.
Okay. Did it go above $115 anytime in 2023?
Did it go above $115 at any time in 2023? Yes. Yes, it did. I feel like around the springtime.
Okay. Okay. Let's push him out to 30th of December 2025.
Ooh, okay. You're really pushing the boat out.
I know. Caveat, everybody. This is way beyond where Liz likes to go. I'm doing this for a reason, but take this with a grain of salt.
All right, December 30th, 2025. Oh, he wanted to go 27, but I feel that's because he retires. Anyway, 2025, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, what would you like to know?
How's JP Morgan Chase done these last 2 years?
How has JP Morgan Chase done this past 2 years? Pretty good. See, he wants to leave on a high note of the bank, right?
Of course.
Now, when he said, I want to go out to 27 because I want to tell you about my retirement, okay, that indicates another consistency, which is 25, 20, 24, 25 are recovery years, and then 26 and 27 are relatively good years as well. You know, we're sort of back into the bull market again.
Yeah.
And he leaves on a high note.
Okay. Where are we now? End of December 2024. 2025. How's Bitcoin doing?
Ooh, he's like, it's trashed.
Okay, when did it get trashed?
When did it get trashed? 23.
Okay. Does JP Morgan Chase still trade Bitcoin in any form?
Yes. Now look here again. The more we do these probes, the more I'm starting to wonder if it just goes into private, you know, traded funds or funds. And that's the only way we can trade it in the future. If the exchanges, just hypothetically, right? Let's just say the exchanges go down or something happens, regulation comes into play. Something is coming. There's some disruption that is coming. I don't know exactly what it is, but maybe, just maybe, Bitcoin will only be able to be traded in the midst of a fund, right? So
A
it's
regulated
part of
fund,
a fund holding.
Yeah. They want cryptos, Bitcoin. Is it? Ask him this. Has Bitcoin now already been classified by the CFTC as a commodity?
No, it's a security.
Oh, really?
I don't know what that means.
Well, it's different. Okay.
What's the difference between, now, guys, I know I'm going to get a lot of flack and there's going to be a lot of comments on there. I stay as blind as possible to this information. Now, but please enlighten me. What is the difference between a security and a commodity?
Well, okay. Well, let's let's go the other way. Let's look at a commodity first, right?
Mhm.
And so basically commodities don't generate an income or anything like that. There is something called the Howey test, Howey, and they use it to test whether something is a security or not. Okay, and there are basically three questions. Is there an investment of money with the expectation of future profits? Is the investment of money, say, in a common enterprise? Do any of the profits come from the efforts of a third party or a promoter or something like that? Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, you could have, now commodities are assets that can be bought and sold on an exchange. So you could think of them things like raw materials, right? But the main thing is they don't generate a return from common enterprise. Yeah, so these are like goods or properties that get grown or mined, where their value depends on the demand and the supply of the market. Yeah. So, you know, I mean, for example, is a sack of potatoes a commodity or a security? Well, it's not security, is it? It doesn't generate an income. How does having a sack of potatoes generate you an income? Copper is a pound of copper. Is that a security or a commodity? Well, it's a commodity. All right. One of the things with cryptos is, and this is where they argue and want to regulate, is that there are things that you invest in something with the expectation of a future profit. So you buy XRP or Ripple, sorry, or Ethereum or something, and you buy it with the expectation of doing nothing but holding it and then generating yourself a profit. Yeah, that is one of the main definitions of a security. And so I was wondering whether they were going to, you know, classify a lot of these coins as securities or commodities. Recently, the US has passed some legislation which is leading me to think they were pushing a lot of this stuff down the commodity route. But he's now saying that Bitcoin is a security. So how is it a security? Ask him, is it a security because it can only be traded inside a regulated fund?
Security because it can only be traded inside a regulated fund.
In the US.
There you go. That's why. That's why.
Is it still traded outside of funds around the world?
No,
Wow.
no. What happened to the majority of the cryptos that were on the crypto market? The whole world. See, this is the same sign I get all the time. They always give me the whole world goes up in smoke. I don't know why. I don't know what it means. I have no idea. Is it because new technology comes in to replace the blockchain? They're developing it now. So here we go. Now in 2025, there's talk of this new technology, which is devoid of blockchain.
Right.
And it's going to start off underground, just like Bitcoin did. And then, you know, it'll rise to the mainstream. And then, of course, at some point, they'll want to do away with that too. But
Okay, but does that happen? Does this come out of the fact that cryptos are essentially now regulated products?
yes, and people don't like that.
Right. So that I think I know the answer to this. Have a lot of the cryptos that were around in 2022 failed or been banned or being, you know, they're not allowed. They're just, you know, they're just not around anymore for one reason or another.
Have a lot of the cryptos that were around in 2022 been banned?
They've just failed.
Okay. Okay.
A ton of them have failed.
Yeah. But they could have also failed because they knew they would fail regulation. Most cryptos will not pass US security regulations. They just won't.
That's true. That's true. Now, that brings me to the point, just those of you that have been following me for the past 2 years or more, I started out on a Telegram group a long time ago. Don't sit there, I can't tell you what to do, but I can tell you that Digibyte, and every single time I've probed it, it does not pass compliance.
No.
I get that Digibyte is a failed project, but anyway, I just thought I'd throw that in.
Thank you. Okay. Let's just ask him about, is Ethereum also a regulated product now?
Is Ethereum also a regulated product?
No,
Does JP Morgan Chase, does any of their funds trade Ethereum?
a couple.
Good.
I feel like Ethereum has gone to some new level. It's gone to a different, I don't know, it's gone to a different technology. It seems like it's really very different than what it is today.
Well, maybe that's the merging, the proof of stake and proof of work.
He doesn't know.
No, I didn't think he would. No. Okay. Okay. How's the Fed interest rate currently? Where is it?
How is the Federal Reserve interest rate currently?
US Federal Reserve interest rate.
Is it above or below 2.5%?
It's below 2.5%.
Okay. When did it go below 2.5%?
2025, he said this year.
Wow. So that's how long they're keeping the pegs, that they're keeping these rates high.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And when they go down, it'll only be a gradual decline, right? So a gradual increase and a gradual decline.
Of course. What did he think of the outcome of the US presidential elections?
Ooh.
What did you think about the outcome of the presidential election? What do you think about that? Are you happy?
He's not happy with the results. From a business perspective, I feel like it's somebody that's coming in that's not really pro bank, pro business. Again,
Okay.
I'm getting this candidate, from what he's telling me, is like straight down the middle.
Okay.
And what is the main concern of the current president? What is it? Is it the economy? No, the economy is not the main concern of the current president in 2025. Is it war? No, so it's not war, thank God. Is it environment? Environment is a huge factor. Immigration is a huge factor. Again, the same issues are on the table. Abortion's a huge factor. Guns, not so much. I feel like this president may be pro-gun, but is also, is the current president like pro-abortion or anti-immigration, or what's going on? Pro-immigration, but what do you mean pro-immigration? But it has to be done legally.
Right. Yeah, well, of course.
So it looks like they're gonna open up a different avenue of being able to come into the country, and they're going to relax some of the immigration laws, because right now it's very hard to get into the US, right? I mean, just those people listening around the world, unless you have tons and tons of money, or you have a relative here that can sponsor you, or you have a work environment or a student visa. Other than that, it is exceptionally difficult to get into the US unless you walk over the border. You know what I mean?
Unless you walk over the southern border, of course.
But that's even difficult as well because, you know, I have a friend that used to be a dispatcher in that area, and they send out the body van at 4 o'clock in the morning to go pick up all the dead bodies in the desert. And I'm telling you, there was multiple body vans because that many people die on that crossing. You wouldn't want anybody making that crossing, right? But anyway, it looks like that's what's going on in 2025.
Okay. All right. Should we let him go out to 2027 and let him tell us what he did, like as a final thing?
Yeah. So let's
Go
go
on
to
then, put him out to where he wants to go.
2027. He's a billionaire.
Of course.
2027, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He's retired. He's retired. Are you on the board at all? No, I don't feel like he's on the board at all. He wants out of that. What are you doing? He's kind of a family man. He's just kind of spending time with his family, seeing long lost family that he hasn't been able to spend time with. He's doing a lot of charitable work. He's setting up a lot of trusts, a lot of scholarships. He doesn't believe just giving money away for, no reason. He believes that you have to work for that money, right? So that's why scholarships, you have to make certain grades, or trust funds, you have to meet certain goals. So that's what he seems to be doing. He's just enjoying his life, and he doesn't regret. He said to me, I don't regret anything in my life. I had a very, very good life.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Ask him how Greece is doing.
Oh, how is Greece doing? He says it's okay.
Has it had any problems these last few years?
Yes, it always has a lot of political problems.
Right. Okay.
Does he have roots in Greece?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Paternal grandfather was a Greek immigrant. So yeah, he's yeah. I mean, Dimon is not his original name. It's Pater Dimitrio or something like that. I can't remember, but it's not Dimon.
Oh, right. Okay.
But yeah. Okay.
Okay, great.
Right. Thank you very much. And
Thank you.
Yep. And
We'll
that's the end
stop
of
this
that.
one here.
Yeah.
If you want to find me, psychicwizcross.com, or on the Patreon, support the YouTube channel, Remote Viewing and Beyond. Thank you, Mr. Shakespeare. Thank you, everybody.